In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make this color chart. Color charts like this will help accelerate your learning and help you understand more deeply how your colors interact on your oil painting palette. What's up? Timothy Jan here. I'm a draftsman, painter, and teacher.
Filming at Ani Art Academies, Sri Lanka.
In my video on palettes, I went over all the different options you had setting up your palette. With an exercise like this, you can take a dynamic palette and simplify it down so you can actually understand what the actual palette that you set up is capable of. In my foundation year at the Ducre School of Art, I had a color theory course. We went through charts very similar to this. We did them in gouache at the time, and it was pretty helpful. Not every exercise you do in art school is super useful. I find that this particular chart, as well as another chart that I'm going to be doing in the future, is really helpful to really understand how the materials work on your palette. You should understand the range that the colors have. Now this is simple, this is only 6 colors mixing together, but you can see a huge range of colors that they can make. It really expands out very quickly as you add more colors, how much your palette can actually make. It can also become overwhelming. So understanding it on a smaller, simple level helps you really understand when it gets very complex. So for this exercise, what you're gonna need is a pencil and a ruler to lay your chart out. You can do it on a panel or you can do it on canvas. If you do it on canvas, when you go to tape it out, you're gonna wanna use masking tape. If you're doing it on a prepared panel, you can lay out the tape with Scotch tape or magic tape. Now I primarily mixed all of my colors for this chart on a glass palette. I put the glass palette on a panel so it doesn't mess up my table. Mixing the colors on a surface like that, rather than doing it with a brush, use a palette knife. While you might be unfamiliar with this at first, through time and a little bit of practice, you're gonna get really adept with this, and this will be a really helpful tool for you. Now, with this particular chart, we're using 6 colors. We have
Cadmium yellow, Naples yellow, cadmium red light, permanent alizarin crimson, cerulean blue, French ultramarine blue. Each block is made up of half-inch boxes, 7 across and 6 down. The space between each box is a half-inch. Down the right side, each of the colors that you are mixing with will go in order. On the right side, place the predominant color for that block. When beginning to mix the colors, the center color is intended to be halfway between each color. Then, the 2 blocks to the left and right are mixed, decreasing the other color. Your mix will get closer to the color on the right the farther you move over.
If you have a larger board, it would be better, a little bit more ideal, to make these boxes an inch and either have a 1/4 inch between or 1/2 inch between is fine. It's just the board gets very large at that point. Each of these blocks will be overwhelmed by the color that it's mixing with. One will be more Naples yellow, one will be more French ultramarine blue. Now you can mix up these colors. So this primarily is based on the primaries. You could also do this chart based on the primaries and the secondaries.
Take your time mixing the colors. You will learn a lot in the mistakes you make. As you go through the process, you will realize that the pigments in the tube varies from color to color. Through practice and repetition, this variable will no longer be an obstacle to you.
The more you understand your colors, the more options you have. You might want to try this chart here. This is a tint chart. I hope you enjoy painting, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. Talk to you soon.